Bonjour and welcome to Reaction After Lunch. I'm Sam, and Mindy is once again only here in spirit. I've watched Five Nights at Freddy's alone last night at midnight, and I had so much fun that I just needed to make another presentation. It was hilarious. This movie had everything: banger music, fun stuff, heartwarming stuff, scary stuff. A lot of blood was happening. Huge fan of blood, me. And I'm I did not expect it to be that good. I've seen the critics rating, and I mean, the fact that it was made after a video game kinda spoke against it, in my opinion, before I watched it, but afterwards it was so nicely done. Incredible work, good job, everyone who worked on it. Um, but only so far. Um, this presentation will include spoilers and also swearing. So sorry about that. If you don't want to see spoilers or swearing, you can go somewhere else. But I love you anyway. Okay, next slide. Um, just to remember, because I imagine you already watched it if you are watching this video with spoilers. The plot is Mike Schmidt, a night guard at a local diner, becomes troubled after confronting the truth about the animatronic costumes that reside. They aren't just robots, they are alive. Will he be able to survive all 5 nights at this haunted diner? Or is something more sinister at play? And our poor baby is so stressed. The- those two summaries perfectly summarize the plot. Um, First of all, one thing I noticed is Five Nights at Freddy's. It's very important that it's 5 nights actually for the game at least. But I didn't count the nights, and I wondered. I mean, obviously that there should be 5 nights. It's just a thing. That would have been fun if they paid more attention to, I don't know, show a number on screen. I would have found it more funny, I think. But that's just me being very, very picky. Next slide. So, uh, let's talk about the game for a little moment. Five Nights at Freddy's is a video game series and media franchise created by Scott Cawthon. The first video game was released on August 8th, 2014, and the resultant series has since gained worldwide popularity. Please write down in the comments if you were there in 2014 when it first came out. I never played it in 2014, but I did watch a lot of videos, a lot of gaming videos. So, yeah, fan from the start. The main series consists of 9 video games taking place in locations connected to a fictional family pizza restaurant franchise named Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, after its mascot, the animatronic bear Freddy Fazbear. In most games, the player assumes the role of a nighttime employee who must utilize tools such as security cameras, lights, doors, and vents to defend themselves against animatronic characters who inhabit the locations and become mobile and hostile at night. The series lore is gradually revealed through voice recordings, minigames, and Easter eggs featured throughout the games. This is from Wikipedia, best source ever. Yeah, as you can see, there are a lot of Five Nights at Freddy's games released from 2014 to 2023. And if you look at the summary of the game, it's already obvious how well done the movie is. Because this is exactly what happens in the movie. I don't know why I'm surprised like that. I would have imagined it to be more fan fictiony. Not sure what I want to say with that, but again, they did such a great job with the security cameras, with the lights, and just how the whole set looked. It was very amazing. Yeah, let's look at the movie. Um, Blumhouse's Five Nights at Freddy's movie grossed 39.5 million on opening day, the biggest domestic opening day ever for a video game movie. The film is tracking to earn 78 million and more during its opening weekend, the largest opening for a Halloween weekend and one of the biggest horror show more. And also, Five Nights at Freddy's box office hit Oppenheimer levels on Thursday night. Five Nights at Freddy's, which opened on October 27, take in a Thursday night box office gross that is comparable with July's smash hit Oppenheimer. And there's a very funny image. So, yeah, obviously, it's a very great movie. It did not disappoint. I mean, I can see the hype. I mean, most of us grew up playing this game or watching other people playing this game, and seeing that as a movie really brings back memories. Um, and also watched part of of the trailer. I only watched the first bit of it and was already hooked. But I couldn't watch the whole trailer because it's so spoilery. I don't know what's up with the trailers nowadays. Give this video a like if you think trailers are too spoilery nowadays. Uh yeah, next next slide. Yeah. Five Nights at Freddy's had the biggest streaming debut on Peacock ever. Yes, as it should. And also Jason Blum said Five Nights at Freddy's was the first film where his 8-year-old daughter realized he had a real career. It was also fun to include. Very, very important tweet or seed. Um, I don't even know what to say. Such a great movie. But why was it so successful? So successful. Five Nights at Freddy's earns the biggest domestic opening day ever for a video game movie with 39.5 million. I think this is the movie that will prove that the hidden secret sauce to a successful IP movie, for the most part, isn't general brand recognition, but how successfully it laser targets the autistic kids who are obsessed with the IP. It's true, but he shouldn't say it. I remember the horrors as well. I mean, obviously, please make more movies like that. But also, hey, rude. And one thing I found very important to mention was that it wasn't CGI that was used, but actual puppets, which is so interesting. They mentioned it a few times on IMDb, as you can see. I'm only reading the first one. Because of Foxy's skeletal-like structure, he was built as a full-body animatronic puppet and performed by Russ Walco, along with a group of puppeteers from the Jim Henson Company. In shots where Foxy walked, it took as many as 6 puppeteers to accomplish his full range of movements. And this is so interesting. And I think it would be great if we could go back more to puppeteering instead of using CGI because it looked so damn realistic. I guess because it was realistic, it was real in a way. Um, so please keep that in mind for future movies. And now to my reaction. You've already seen quite a bit of my reaction. I'm super amazed. I'm super hyped. I'm so happy I watched this movie. I had a lot of fun. Here are my notes I took while I was watching the movie late at night, as you can see. I loved how the first scene already grabbed the attention. Loved the mask. I loved the blood. um, Also love the security camera work when number 27 is called at the very beginning when Michael is called into the office thing. And one thing I screamed about was, what about the Michael thing? Um, Coming from the Good Omens fandom, I immediately went, Michael Sheen! But for real, I'm getting some Will Graham vibes from Michael. I don't know if any of you have seen Hannibal, but yeah, when the angle is right, and also the all over vibe is just very Will Graham in the most positive way ever. Um, then also I tapped down the phone call. I don't even remember what I wanted to say with that, but apparently it was something I liked. And again, the setup with I remember what I meant. The phone call, like in the game, obviously. I love that over a phone it was explained to him what Michael had to do at his job. Also, again, I very much loved the setup with the cameras, and I also love Doug very much. He's the lawyer, and I don't even know why. It's I don't know. I can relate to him somehow because he seems so anxious and uncomfortable. I can relate. And then I wrote, I hope the shitty aunt gets killed by Freddy. Um, we'll get back to that later in this video. And my next reaction was, no, don't sleep. Um, as someone who regularly sleeps on their job, I also can relate very much, but it's not a good thing to do, probably. I mean, don't get caught, obviously. Also, I thought, is the little kid supposed to be Chica? I meant the one with the blonde hair, with the long blonde hair. Immediately went, oh, Chica. And then there's the one with the bunny ears, and it already made it obvious which kid was supposed to be which animatronic, signify which animatronic. And then after that, I was a fan of the blood again. Um, there was very great music, huge fan of the music. I already mentioned that, but it bears mentioning again. And yeah, then I wrote, I hope everything will be magically repaired and also the assholes get eaten. I was right about half of that sentence, at least. A huge fan of the assholes getting eaten. But also later on, I was a huge fan of the cleaning montage of Michael cleaning the the pizza place. Um, I like when things are clean, and oh, it really hurt to watch the place get destroyed. But afterwards, it felt so great to see the people who destroyed the place to suffer. It was done so beautifully. And the chair thing, the moment when Max stood on the chair to look inside of the mouth of the animatronic, that was on her, to be honest. She could have stayed in the car. She could have just driven away when she saw they weren't coming back. Um, okay, I see that's it's more difficult than that. I mean, probably she could just drive away, but still, it was kind of weird to stand on the chair. I mean, I could not relate to standing on the chair and looking over there, but yeah. Then the blonde lady who the cop lady, she seemed very lovely at the beginning, and obviously she absolutely stayed so lovely, and I'm a huge fan of her. You know, sometimes fictional cops, you can like them. It's okay. I think that's okay when they're fictional. Um, after, oh no, and then also yes, and I just wrote down how much I love this. I don't even know which scene I meant, but yes, that was when he brought the sister Abby to work. And yeah, I was very scared for her to get eaten, and then I was very happy when they just played with her, and I loved it very much. And yeah, I loved all the emotion that was shown on the animatronics' faces. Again, puppets. It was so well done. Unbelievable. Just huge 10 out of 10. I was not prepared for this. And then I also wrote, I think it's her dad. At the very beginning, when I first saw the guy at the office, I thought to myself, I bet he's the villain. The way he reacted when he heard Michael's name, I thought, this guy, he might be the villain. And then later on, I thought, oh, the way the cop lady is behaving, I bet it's her father who is the villain. And I can't believe it. I was right both times. Um, I mean, so I did see what was going to happen, but still, I loved that it actually happens. I loved that there wasn't a plot twist. It happened exactly as I expected it. And yet, I think it was absolutely beautiful. Sometimes it's just so satisfying to see everything to turn out the way you think it should turn out. So, yeah. For a little moment, I thought Vanessa is the rabbit, but I was wrong there. Um, my absolute favorite quote: "She looks so angry. Why does everyone always look at you that way?" Favorite quote ever. Little Abigail saying that um to Michael. I love this so much. Then I also wrote, I didn't count the nights. Were there five? I suppose there were five. There should be. And then the taxi scene. Huge fan of the taxi scene when the animatronic sat in the taxi. Great. And yeah, then I was scared that Mike would actually um, give his sister to the animatronics. And then I loved how the dad was crushed by the suit. Once again, 10 out of 10. And let's look at some other reactions. Um, yeah. Best way to watch this is with your best friend who deeply knows the law, and you're just there to see Josh Hutcherson be sexy. Um, yeah, I watched it alone, but I'm going to watch it again with Mindy, my best friend, and yeah, I'll be the best friend who deeply knows the law, and she'll have to half watch me freak out again. Also, the FNAF movie, if Vanessa just sat Mike down and outside and explained the situation to him. That's true, but also the drama. I also loved it so much. And clearly they could have talked, but I think it was justified for her not to tell him because obviously she was traumatized by the whole situation. And also she was very uh yeah, traumatized by her father, and it was hard for her to get out of this situation and free herself. No, I think it's justified for her not to talk to Mike. And yeah, same energy. Although perhaps they do look a little bit more angry. But I love their faces so much. Such great faces. The expressions are killing me. And also one more fun thing. YouTuber Mark Fischbach, known online as Markiplier, who helped popularize the FNAF game with his multitude of videos showing him play it, was contacted to have a role in the film as a security guard that preceded Mike Schmidt, but Fischbach turned it down due to a conflicting schedule with his own upcoming film Iron Lung, which is also based on a popular video game. So that was sad that Markiplier couldn't be in the movie. But still, I saw a lot of people just putting a picture of him on the side of the screen to make it look like he was playing the movie, which was also a lot of fun. um, Mike is struggling financially and mentally. Vanessa throws his prescription medicine. To be fair, if we look at that, to be completely and absolutely fair, I don't think it's prescribed. I don't, I- I'm not sure if he said it, but even if he said it, I don't think I want to believe him that it is prescribed medicine. I think he just gets it and takes the pills to fall asleep. And um, he does it by his own choice. So I think it's a little different, and I think it's a little bit justified to throw it away if he chooses to take the sleeping pills to see his brother. Um, I mean, you could argue about that. Please don't argue with me in the comments. I'm sensitive. This is just my opinion. Perhaps. I'm not sure. Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic Foxy burst into flames during production. So that is the thing that happens if you're not using CGI. Well, it certainly is theme accurate, at least. And also, here is my favorite character of the whole movie. He's probably the best side character in the FNAF movie. I love Doug. I love how all the minor characters to get a cult following is this fucked up bundle of anxiety lawyer. My only request for the next movie is more Doug. More Doug would be nice. And I second that. Live Doug reaction. Best character, 10 out of 10. Now let's look at some analysis. Um, I saw a few people saying similar things, and one person posted this on Tumblr, but they tagged it as personal. So I cut out a bit of the personal stuff and also didn't. And I also don't show the name because um they seemed to want to stay anonymous, but still they are asking the right questions. um we are all in a huff and puff about Afton not having a reason to be the monster he was, but what about Mike and Abby's parents? Garrett wasn't one of the kids shown in Mike's dreams of the kids that are in the suits. So what truly happened to Garrett? Does the timeline of Fazbear coincide with Garrett being taken, or was Garrett his first? And that's why it was such a big deal to get Mike and Abby too. Why the fuck did it take nearly the whole movie to get Aunt Jen out of the way? And why isn't there more about her being in Mike's house like that any bit of an issue? So the right questions get asked here. Um, So first of all, I don't think it's that important to give Afton a backstory. I mean, sometimes in real life, people sometimes are like that, and they don't always have a backstory. So I can see why people would think it's not necessary to give him one. Um, And also Mike and Abby's parents. We see only a little bit of them in his dreams, and we know that the mother died and the father couldn't take it anymore. Um, so there is that. So, I mean, a movie can only be so long, to be fair. Um, I also found it very interesting that Garrett wasn't one of the kids shown in Mike's dreams. Um, so Garrett doesn't seem to be connected to one of the animatronics. at least at first glance. Um, there are also some theories that Garrett was just the first one, and that's why Mike and Abby had to be taken as well. Now that I'm sorry, there was a bit of silence for a moment. Now that I'm thinking about it, what if Vanessa used to be Garrett? And can you see where my brain cell is going with that? I mean, there will be a sequel, and for horror movies or just movies in general, it's quite unusual to have the two adults who are the same age and um who do solve a mystery together, fight together, whatever, connect with each other, to have them not kiss. And I know it's stupid, but bear with me. They did not kiss. Maybe that's because they are brother and sister. Think about it and write your opinion in the comments down below. My brain is just giving up on me. Um, yes, I do remember we saw a picture of Vanessa as a child, but perhaps I don't know. They were both having the plane. Maybe there's more to that, but we will see in the sequel. It's a movie. They can do whatever they want. So there is an there's a theory by Tony B, which I liked. Okay, so I had an intense FNAF movie theory. Spoilers for the FNAF movie. You know that. So, starting off, one of the major plot points of the film is that Vanessa is William Afton's daughter and that Mike and Abby don't seem to be related to them at all, right? And there's a theory about Golden Freddy's spirit being an Afton kid. Not just the blonde hair. The actor isn't a natural blonde. It was dyed for his role, but the way the kid seems to react to everything. He remembers his death. That's a plot point for the other kids, that they don't remember their deaths, and the drawings make them believe the yellow rabbit is a friend. But he does seem to remember, since he told Mike through a drawing that the yellow rabbit killed his brother. It's uncertain why he doesn't tell the other kids or why his main goal is getting Abby rather than getting revenge, but it seems he's playing William like a pawn rather than vice versa. It's only when William stabbed his sister Vanessa that he stepped in. And the way William reached out for him in the safe room, like he was asking for help, almost solidifies it. Now, back to my theory. I'm sure plenty of you have heard the theory that the Schmidts are actually Henry's children, not William's. It would explain why William drove 9 whole hours to kidnap some random kid in Nebraska if the kid wasn't actually random. Maybe a revenge scheme over some company fault. So my thought is the family dynamics with the Aftons and Emilys are switched in the games versus the movie. Game Michael Afton, eldest brother, Cece Afton, supposedly middle brother, Elizabeth Afton, supposedly youngest sister, Charlie Emily, murder twin, Sammy Emily, supposedly survived twin. Movie: Mike Schmidt, eldest brother; Garrett Schmidt, middle brother; Abby Schmidt, youngest sister; Golden Freddy's spirit, murdered twin; Vanessa Shelley Afton, survived twin. I say twins because young Vanessa looks about the same age as GFS, although we don't know what year the photo was taken. It feels like swapped dynamics to me. Garrett is a Charlie Emily parallel in their identical deaths, which could make both Mike and Abby Sammy Emily parallels as the surviving siblings. And the way Vanessa parallels Michael A., especially in her guilt and need to make up the kids' childhoods, would make GFS both CC and Elizabeth. Honestly, if GFS did have some sort of loyalty, passiveness to William murdering him, like I mentioned, it definitely confirms an Elizabeth parallel. I don't even need to mention how William makes Vanessa help him with his crimes, just like Michael in the games, or how he plays with her guilt by blaming the mess on her, which suggests he would have blamed her brother's death on her, just like Michael feels guilty for CC's death. Sammy would probably also feel guilty for Charlie's murder, as that's how Charlie felt in the books when she thought it was Sammy who got taken. That was a situation that wasn't in the surviving siblings' control, just like how Mike couldn't stop Garrett's kidnapping. But GFS's murder could have been a preventable accident that Vanessa felt to blame for, just like Michael for CC, and probably Elizabeth. MadPat, please notice me. I think I'm onto something. MadPat, if you're watching this, Tony B might be onto something. Please let him know. Great theory. Very complicated. Very, very complicated. But interesting. And again, I think the movie did such a great job. And here is another theory. Or not theory, it's the whole deal with the family layout is confusing to me. Vanessa is an Afton, another Vanessa Elizabeth parallel, and has no mentions of other siblings, but it seems Mike and Abby aren't related to her, so they are not Aftons. Which is weird because their family structure parallels the Afton kids. Mike is Michael, the eldest brother. Garrett is CC, the middle brother, which with the striped shirt, and Abby is Elizabeth, the youngest sister whose name is an anagram for baby and could pass as a nickname for Elizabeth. Also, the age gap. Abby is 10, and I think they confirmed Mike is 30, which is pretty large. And that would make Garrett unconfirmed age, but his actor is 6, 14 years older than her. It's just interesting that the Schmidts had another child so late. Yeah. Again, we don't know which age they are all supposed to be. I didn't catch Mike being confirmed to be 30. Not entirely sure. This is something that everyone has been mentioning, but Nebraska is 9 hours away from Minnesota, where the movie takes place. Why would William drive all the way up there to kidnap a random kid and drive all the way back? Unless it's not a random kid to him. Because of how Garrett's death parallels Charlie in so many ways, I've heard people suggest that Mike's father is actually Henry, and this is how William gets back at him for something involving the company. Plus, it would explain why he recognizes Mike's last name. Not to mention the Ella doll. Once again, any Abby Elizabeth parallel, since Ella's is a predecessor to Circus Baby in the Charlie Bot stages, was a springlet suit Abby was gonna be stuffed in. Now that I think about it, holy shit, in the end credits scene, Puppet's music box plays while the words "Come find me" are spelled out. What if Garrett possesses the puppet to play into his Charlie parallel? That would be such a cool twist. Oh my god, this will be updated with my thoughts, but this is what I got so far. Looking forward to the update. Great things. Uh, well caught. Um, I mean, there could be several explanations for driving from Minnesota to Nebraska. What I want to say is maybe this guy was camping and then he saw the child and just took the opportunity to kidnap a child. Um, we don't know. We don't know, and maybe it will be come up again in the sequel. I keep talking about the sequel. I can't wait for another movie like that. I had so much fun. Um, yeah, not entirely sure about the ages, but it would be also interesting to know. Not even sure how old the actors are. Maybe we could also have a look at that. It doesn't have to say anything. Um, yeah, this page brings me to slide actually. This slide. Freddy, Bonnie, Foxy, Chica, Golden Freddy, and the cupcake. Of course, the other animatronics killed people, but between mauling the guy directly in the face, hamstringing Mike, and setting off Afton's spring traps, the cupcake had the most blood on its teeth. Vicious little thing. Was the cupcake even possessed, or is it just like that? My theory. I don't know if anyone has already mentioned it, but what if Garrett is the cupcake? What if Garrett is the cupcake? Let me know if you agree. Give this video a thumbs up if you agree. This little face. Yeah, as it was mentioned before, Garrett um isn't shown to be one of the animatronics, and we don't really know what exactly happened to him. So if he's not Vanessa, my other theory is that he's the cupcake. Let me know what you think. The ending part where Abby was so concerned about the ghosts got me both like, girl, they tried to kill you, but smiling in awe at her sweetness. She's so worried about her friends despite everything that happened. Now I need fix where Mike gets roped into taking the missing kids in, either by Abby begging or the kids just showing up in their home and asking to stay because they couldn't bear to be near Afton any longer. I kinda prefer the latter, not gonna lie. Now Mike's got 6 kids to look after while also helping them slowly unlearn all the bullshit Afton put into their heads, while all of them, including Vanessa, once she gets out of her coma, try to heal from the entire ordeal with Afton. Bonus if we get a Springtrap appearance, Afton trying to get all his victims and finish what he started. So, you heard it here first. In case you haven't heard it already on Tumblr, we are looking for new fanfiction. Someone please write this. Enough part 2. Five Nights at Freddy's movie director Emma Tammy on adapting Five Nights at Freddy's 2 into a sequel film. We are definitely excited to keep making more movies in this world. Should we be lucky enough to do that? I hope you will be. Please do it. Exclusive. Despite being in development for some time, the script for the sequel for Five Nights at Freddy's is currently being reworked in the response to feedback from the first. Looks like the sequel script's getting some reworking due to feedback from audiences. Hopefully, it won't be too long. Hopefully, it won't. But also, I mean, great that they are listening. And I'm so looking forward to this. Also, Aunt Jane is returning in the sequel. Not a huge fan of hers, but we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. We'll see. Thanks. Please make another one. 10 out of 10 movie. I had so much fun. You were already at 16% anyway.
That's very stressful.
Yeah, this version is so stressful. On the version I played on my phone, it battery usage, so I just could keep the door closed,
Okay.
which made it a lot easier. But then I found out that there was a vent directly underneath my table, and I wasn't able to close the vent. And I should only make the animatronics go away by turning on the light, and it was too scary, and then I stopped playing.
Don't go away. I turned on the light, but
Yeah.
you were just standing in front of my room all the time.
Yeah.
So just, I don't know.
Hashtag fake news.
Hashtag this did not work. I don't know. Do you want to try once?
I mean, I can try one time. Yeah.
So here, you get the control over the doors and
Yeah.
power.
New game.
You're a pro. You're